What's up, you guys? So today I want to talk to you about two of my favorite nonfiction books that I've read. Both of these books take place during the time of the Civil War. So we have To Rescue the Republic by Bret Baier and Hymns of the Republic by S.C. Gwynne. So To Rescue the Republic by Bret Baier is mostly about Ulysses S. Grant and the struggles that he faced between the Mexican-American War all the way to the Civil War. I learned a lot of interesting things about Ulysses S. Grant in this book. I always kind of had this opinion that he was this big, bulky dude that sat atop his horse, and he's like 6'5", 230 pounds. But then I learned that he's actually my size. He's 5'7", 135 pounds. And this book kind of tells you about all the failure that he experienced before he became a general in the Civil War, and then later became the president of the United States. And so I really love this book, and I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a book on Ulysses S. Grant or the Civil War. This is one of those books that I would highly recommend for that. Also, Hymns of the Republic by S.C. Gwynne. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite nonfiction books. I learned a lot about American history in this book, and it's not very big, and you'll go through it real quick. But I actually had a lot of fun reading this book, and I've got my copy signed by S.C. Gwynne himself. Let me see here. See, and I've got my copy signed. So I actually learned that this book has a lot to do with Robert E. Lee, and that's why I put those two books together, because you kind of have Ulysses S. Grant and then Robert E. Lee over on this side. And I learned that Robert E. Lee's wife, Mary Lee, was the great-granddaughter of George and Martha Washington. And they inherited a few properties from the Washingtons, one of them being their home in Arlington, which sat on the Potomac River overlooking this nice big field. So, and it was called Arlington House. And so after the Battle of the Wilderness, the Union soldiers started burying the dead in Robert E. Lee's front yard, because they didn't want him to ever be able to come back home. And if he ever came back home, they didn't want him to be able to rest. But the U.S. government seized all of his properties, and they made Robert E. Lee's home into Arlington National Cemetery. And that's what it is today. Arlington National Cemetery was Robert E. Lee's home that the U.S. government confiscated. And then you also learn a little bit about Clara Barton and a few of the other Confederate Civil War generals in this book, and I absolutely love this book. And so this is another book that I would highly recommend if you're looking for books on the Civil War, is Hymns of the Republic by S.C. Gwynne. And those are just two of my favorite nonfiction books. I'm going to go through and find some more of my favorite nonfiction books to talk to you guys about later on in videos. So thank you guys for your time today.